Good day, grade 8 students. Now, let's proceed to our lesson in physical education for the third quarter. Our lesson for today is all about indoor recreational activities. Pero bago yan, alamin natin ano ba ang recreational. Ang recreational activity ay isang physical or mental activity pursued primarily for pleasure. Ibig sabihin, ginagamit natin ang mga activity na to para kahit papano ay ma-relax naman ng ating physical at mental na katangian ng isang tao. Sa madaling salita, ito ay isang pampalipas oras lamang. Isang halimbawa ng indoor recreational activity ay board games. Mula sa salitang board games, it is a game played with counters or pieces that are placed on, remove from, or move across a board, o ang mga laro na umiikot lamang within the board. One good example of this is Scrabble. Scrabble is a word game in which 2 to 4 players score points by placing tiles. It is a mind game that requires wide vocabulary. The tiles must form words which, in crossword puzzle, flow left to right in rows or downwards in columns. These are the materials in Scrabble. The first one, of course, the Scrabble board. A Scrabble game board is made up of cells in a square grid. The Scrabble board is 15 cells wide by 15 cells high. One materials needed for Scrabble is racks. This is where the drawn-out letters are placed and where words are formed before entering it to the board. Of course, we have Scrabble tiles. Scrabble is played with exactly 100 tiles. 98 of these tiles contain letters on them, while there are 2 blank tiles. So these are the tile values. Point value for blank tiles, of course, is 0. For letters A, E, I, L, N, O, R, S, T, and U, these are the letters with 1 point. For letters D and G, 2 points. For letters B, C, M, and P, 3 points. For letter F, H, V, W, and Y, 4 points. For letter K, that is an equivalent of 5 points. For letter J and X, 8 points. For letter Q and Z, 10 points. 2 times L, double the letter score for the light blue cells. 3 times L for the triple letter score for dark blue cells. Twice W, double word score for the light red cells. And 3 times W triple word score for the dark red cells. Alright, let's proceed. How to play Scrabble. Number 1. The initial player should construct a word by combining 2 or more letters out of the shapes that player got. Number 2. The player then should count and announce the score to complete player's turn. For example, the word is study. The word study has an equivalent of 9 points because S, 1, plus T, 1, plus U, 1, plus letter D, 2 points, plus Y, 4 points, that is 9 points for the word study. The player will continue with drawing new letters amongst the left ones and maintain 7 letters in the rack. Number 3. The play will roll by passing to the next player to the left. The second player then will add one or more letters to that of those which are already on the board to form new words. Like for example, in the picture, study, the second player will add the letters D and A to form the word day. Number 4, the play continues and the same goes for the other players where they can add one or more letters to those that were on the board already. They can create or form more than one word by placing the letters parallel to a word that was already played based, of course, on the availability of the letters on the player's rack. Number 5, once the letters have been played already, no player can move their place. Number 6, the two blank tiles mean you can use them to stand for any letters of the player's desire. 7, any player may use their turn to replace any or all of the letters in the rack. 8, the players may consult the standard dictionary to check the spelling and usage of the played words since all the words there are acceptable except for the proper nouns. 9, there is a chance to challenge any word before the next player starts. If the word being challenged was found unacceptable, for example, the word OA, the player will take back the tiles and loses turn. Number 10. The game will proceed until all the tiles have been drawn and one of the players had utilized all the letters in the rack or until all the possible plays were done. Scoring. Use a score pad or piece of paper to keep a tally of each player's score, entering it after each turn. The score value of each letter is indicated by a number at the bottom of the tile. The score value of a blank is 0. The score of each turn is the sum of the letter values in each word's form or modified on the turn, plus the additional points obtained from placing letters on premium squares. Premium letter squares, a light blue square, doubles the score of a letter placed on it. A dark blue square triples the letter's score. Let's talk about the skills and traits of Scrabble player. Scrabble player must have the following traits: creativity, quick thinking skills, good vocabulary, good spelling skills, and of course, strong organizational skills. Good emotional control, patience, mathematical skills, anagramming skills, and strategic skills. Let's check your understanding. Please get a piece of paper. All you have to do is to identify the following. Write your answer in your answer sheet. Number 1. A board game which expounds our vocabulary. Number 2. A tile which has a score of 0. Number 3. Letters which have a score of 10 points. Number 4. Score value of J and X letter tiles. Number 5. Number of tiles you can keep in your rack. Ask your math teacher for the key to correction or answer key. Let's move on now to our next topic, which is chess. You know that chess is a game that has been played for the centuries and was thought to have originated in India over the 15th century. Long ago, it was considered a game reserved only for kings and members of the upper classes. Ibig sabihin, ito ay laro ng mga mayayaman noong araw. Nowadays, chess is played by common people even at early age. Diba sa panahon ngayon, kahit sino na ay pwedeng maglaro ng chess. Let's talk about the rules and regulations in chess. There are two opponents in playing chess wherein they are using a 64 square board of alternating colors. Each player has 16 chess pieces, including one king, one queen, two rooks, two bishops, two knights, and 8 pawns. The goal of the player is to checkmate the king of his opponent. Let's talk about the chessboard. Chessboard containing 64 squares. And this is the chessboard setup. And these are the chess pieces. We have the king, the queen, bishop, knight, rook, and pawn. How the chess pieces move. King, move one square in any direction. If there is no threat by an enemy piece, castling king's special move, the most important piece in the game and one of the weakest. Move diagonally, horizontally, or vertically in any number of squares. They cannot jump over the pieces. The most powerful chess piece. Bishops move diagonally at any number of squares in a designated color. They cannot jump over the pieces. Knights move in an L shape. Two squares in a horizontal or vertical direction, then move one square horizontally or vertically. They are the only piece that can jump over the other pieces. Rooks move horizontally or vertically in any number of squares. They are unable to jump over pieces. Rooks move when the king castles. Pawns move vertically forward one square with the option to move two squares if they have not yet moved. Pawns are the only piece to capture different pieces depending on how they move. Pawns capture one of the square diagonally in a forward direction. Let's have a quiz. Again, all you have to do is to identify the following. Write your answer in your answer sheet. Number 6. The most powerful chess piece that moves diagonally, horizontally, and vertically in any number of squares. Number 7. Moves in L-shaped way and has two pieces. Number 8. Total number of squares in chessboard. Number 9. The most important but one of the weakest pieces. Number 10. The two chess pieces used in castling. Again, ask your mappy teacher for you be able to get the answer key or key to correction. Okay, let's move on now to our third topic, which is Dominoes. Dominoes is a game played with rectangular domino tiles. The domino gaming pieces make up a domino set, sometimes called a deck or pack. The traditional Sino-European domino set consists of 28 dominoes. Dominoes are called bones because the earliest domino tiles were made from animal bones or ivory. In addition to bones, dominoes are also called tiles, stones, men, tickets, or spinners. Each domino is a rectangular tile with a line dividing its face into two square ends. Each end is marked with a number of spots, also called pits, or is black. Evidences show that tiles game have been found in China as early as 1120 CE. Some historians credit Kung in the 12th century BCE for creating them. Shuffling the dominoes. Before you start a game, the dominoes must be shuffled to make a boneyard. You need to shuffle the tiles all face down, moving them in random motion. Make sure that no one knows the location of any given tile. Decide who will make the first move. You can do it in two ways. The first one, each of the players chooses a domino at random, with first move going to the player holding the heavier domino. These dominoes are returned to the boneyard and reshuffled. Or, number two, the players draw their allotted number of tiles, which varies according to the game being played, and the holder of the heaviest domino goes first. Drawing tiles. Once you begin drawing tiles, they are typically placed on edge so that you and your opponent can see your own tiles, but none can see the value of other players' tiles. Every player can thus see how many tiles remain in the other player's hands at all times during the game. Placing the first tile. After you and your opponent have drawn dominoes, the first player places the first tile, usually a double six on the table. If no one holds the double six, then the double five is played and so on. Let's talk about playing subsequent tiles. You can only put domino tiles to open ends. No other tile is connected to it. A double tile is usually placed crossways in the layout, straddling the end of tile that it is connected to. All four sides of a double are open, allowing dominoes to be connected in all four directions. Drawing a tile from the boneyard. Draw games or you must pass if you cannot make a move, or block games. As you take turns placing tiles with your opponent, if someone cannot make a move, you can do either two things. In block games, or if there are no tiles left in the boneyard, you must pass if you cannot make a move. In a draw game, you can draw a tile from the boneyard. Depending on the game, you can then either play it if it fits and if the rules allow, pass if he cannot play the drawn tile, or continue drawing until you can make a move or the boneyard is empty. Ending the game. The game ends when you have played all your tiles or when a game is blocked. When you play your last tile, tradition requires you to say, Domino! Alright, let's proceed to our last quiz. Again, all you have to do is to identify the following. Write your answer in your answer sheet. Number 11. It is the shape of domino tile. Number 12. Other term for dots in each end of the tile. Number 13. The pieces of tiles does traditional Sino-European consist. Number 14. A word you have to say when you place your last tile on the table. And last, materials that earliest tiles were made of. Again, take the key to correction or answer key to your MAPI teacher for you be able to check your work. Thank you and God bless.